let's retry that. The damn travel space. The damn the travel split. Son of a bitch. Get it together. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing a little bit of a different spin on the YouTube creator made me buy it. So I don't know if this has been done before. It's very possible. If it is, please go ahead and tag whoever has done it. So we all start somewhere, and I want to recognize some of the biggest influences on me as far as it comes to creating my YouTube channel and the kind of content that I want to have, and the ones that I had been watching for years. And I want to show you the products that they made me buy that are now Holy Grail products. I had to seriously reduce the list. Here's both pages. I had 2 pages full of things that they had made me buy. That said, let's get started. We are going to start with Samantha March. She is one of my all-time favorites. She's one of the channels that if I just want to relax, I take her in the shower with me, put my phone up there and listen to it while I'm getting a shower. Just one of those channels that if I want to chill out, relax, and just listen, I can do that. So what has she made me buy? Well, Miss Samantha, let's start off by you making me buy all of these. She got me started on the Natasha Denona mini palettes, and we had a tragedy before this started filming, and I think we need a moment of silence because this is one of her favorite palettes, and I go to open the damn thing, and there went the shadow. I'm like, what the hell? You gotta be kidding me. But she got me started on the Natasha Denona mini palettes, which then got me started on the Natasha Denona midi palettes. And then we know where it goes from there. So I won't go through all of them because I pretty much have every single Natasha Denona midi palette that she's ever made. Mini palette. Sorry. And next, I'm going to try and do like 1 or 2 things that each person has made me buy. Kind of cut it down. This is kind of a package deal though. So, one of the major things that she made me buy that is one of my all-time favorite things is her entire OFRA collection. Now, I do have the River Bronzer. The River Bronzer is in my bridal kit because that's one of my favorites, and that's one that I use with my brides. But I have her star-inspired highlighter, which I have one today, by the way. I also have her Chiclet blush, which is one of my all-time favorite blushes. As you can see, I put a little bit of a dent in there. Also, what I have on my face. So that is the first influencer that has had an impact on my life. Let's keep moving. Next one, Andrea. Her last name begins with an M. I can't pronounce it. I will tag her in this video. Again, she's one of those ones that I can just turn on and listen to, and I guess our styles are similar. She introduced me to ColourPop in general. I knew about ColourPop before, but through her reviews, I slowly accumulated a very large ColourPop collection. This is just 3 of them, 3 of my favorites. We have the All of That palette by ColourPop. Has my beautiful burgundies in that I love. we have one of her favorites, which is also one of my favorites, the It's My Pleasure palette. Gorgeous, beautiful palette. It has such unique purples in there that you can wear every day. It can kind of start you out on the purple train if you're not used to working your way into color. This is a really good palette to get you started. And last but not least, another one of my favorites, which you can tell because it's filthy, don't judge me, the Taupe palette. Love this palette. Oh, sweet palette. But that is just the beginning of my collection. I have an entire drawer of ColourPop palettes that you made me buy, Miss Andrea. Thank you. At least you kept it on the cheaper side. Next, from Andrea, she got me started on the Brow Blade by Urban Decay. The Brow Blade has two different sides. It has your traditional brow pencil on the one side, but then what makes it unique is it also has the little felt tip that allows you to make more brow-like strokes, which at first, when I first tried this, I was like, I don't like it. Or I saw her recommend it and recommend it and recommend it, and I saw her use it, and then I kept trying it, and slowly it grew on me, and now I use it quite often. So thank you, Miss Andrea. I love your channel, appreciate you, and thank you for introducing me to ColourPop. Next, the one, the only, Jaclyn Hill. I could have an entire list of things that this woman got me on, but I put it down to one of the biggest things that she really got me on to, that I have probably purchased 4 times at this point. It is the Lancome Absolute Powder in Absolute Pesh. This powder is absolutely gorgeous. I have one for my bridal kit. I have one for myself personally. It is so brightening and illuminating. I love to put it underneath my eyes, and it gives you such a gorgeous glow, and it's really hard to rival. Like, I know she came out with her own powders, and I feel like it had to be a nod to the Absolute powders because they're kind of similar. But this is the Absolute Pesh. Can't even barely see it. It just gives you the lightest and softest glow. Love this powder. However, it is an investment. I believe it's like $60 to $80. I'm not 100% sure, but thank you, Jaclyn, for introducing this to me. Love your channel. You're a fighter. Keep going, girl, and I am looking forward to what you create in the future. Next, Mr. Manny, MUA. Hilarious. Love you. You are a absolute trip. He's a channel you put on if you want to laugh. So real, so raw, and just what you see is what you get. But Manny pretty much introduced me to Charlotte Tilbury. This was probably 2 years ago, and I was watching one of his favorite videos, and he was talking about the Airbrush Flawless Powder and about how it literally makes your skin look like it is airbrushed. And I'm like, there's no way. But of course, I went out and bought it, and this is probably my first expensive powder that I ever bought. Thank God that I liked it, or I would have unsubscribed. Just kidding. But the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Airbrush Powder. I have one here. I have a backup over there. I have one in my kit. And each of these pretty puppies, I think, is like $45 to $50. But it is that good. It is that good. That's all I can say about it. It's wonderful. It is amazing. And he knew what the hell he was talking about when he recommended that powder. Thanks. Next, one of my faves, one of my girls, one of my personal friends, Miss Mel Thompson. So I had to literally eliminate it down to she gets 3 of what she introduced me to. First off, the entire Tatcha line. I had heard of Tatcha. I think I had their water cream. I got it as a sample, but I wasn't really into it as like a dedicated skincare line. But it started off with the Camellia cleanser, which I talk about often. This is almost empty. I have a backup. I used to use the Clinique Balm, which is good, but nothing compares to this and a makeup eraser. You literally could use that. I wouldn't recommend it, but you literally could use just the Camellia cleanser and a makeup eraser and you're done. But she has also introduced me. I have several of the rice cleansers, the little rice ones you pour out. I have the new cream rice cleanser. I have the Tatcha Silk Canvas. I have the Tatcha Dewy Skincare. Mel, you have cost me a lot of money. Thanks, buddy. Next, she introduced me to, and I do not know how to say this, so I'm just gonna go with the brand and the color. The Sisley powder in Irisy. This is similar to the Lancome powder. However, the Lancome powder, unless you really like the glow, would not put all over my face. The Sisley powder, I do put all over my face. It brings life back into the skin. Sometimes powder can really dull and you have this beautiful glowy look going on, and then you put your powder on and it's like, where the hell did it go? This powder actually helps bring back the life into the skin, and I love it. It's not cheap, but in my opinion, it is worth it. I had to go dig it out of my bridal kit because it's another one I keep in there. If I keep it in my bridal kit, you know that it is the best of the best because I try it out. I try everything out before I put it in my kit. So thank you, Mel. Love you. And thanks for making me spend my money. You get a third one, my friend. You pretty much introduced me to Tom Ford in general. Tom Ford fragrances, Tom Ford shadows, just Tom Ford in general. I had heard of Tom Ford in the past. Obviously, everybody has heard of Tom Ford, but I didn't really consider his makeup or his fragrance. And it started out with the Lost Cherry fragrance. I had heard Mel talk about this fragrance in one of her videos. She was talking about a candle. And I purchased one of the little travel sprays just to try it, because the travel spray alone is $75. Yeah. So needless to say, I got one Christmas gift this year. One Christmas gift. And that was an actual full bottle of the Lost Cherry. $350. So worth it. So I have 2 travel sprays and I have the full bottle. I try not to use the full bottle because it's so beautiful that I don't want to use it. But I'm kind of working my way into more of the Tom Ford fragrances. I am also trying out Rose Prick, which is amazing. And next, Tom Ford shadows. If you're a fan of Mel, you've heard her talk about her Tom Ford palette that they no longer produce, which we will not name. But I finally went out and did it and bought myself a Tom Ford palette. Love it. They are so luxe and so blendable, and it's just a whole different ball game. When you're using a Tom Ford shadow, you pretty much blend it pretty much blends itself. You have very little work to do. But I love you. Thank you so much for all you did, all you've done, your friendship, and for introducing me to very expensive products. Next, and last but not least, this is somebody that she was my first person I really ever started watching. I probably have watched every single video of her, and this may be a controversial opinion, but it is my opinion, and this is my channel, and I'm going to say how I feel, and that is Tati. Tati was one of those channels where you could sit down and you could watch it and you felt like you were sitting down with a friend. And I love her, I miss you, and I truly, from the bottom of my heart, hope that you are doing well. But next, so much for that. Okay, so the first product that Tati got me using, that I now have like 3 or 4 bottles of, is the La Mer foundation. This is what I have on now. I just did a video before this, full face, which will be probably up before this video, maybe. We'll see. But the Soft Fluid Long Wear Foundation. This is not a cheap foundation. And it took me a while to get myself to the point where I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. We're gonna go for it. And I did it, and I have no regrets. Absolutely love this foundation. This foundation can go on any skin type. It can go on older skin, it can go on younger skin, acne prone skin, and it still looks flawlessly beautiful. So this is the first product that Tati got me into. And last but not least for the entire video, we are going to finish it off with, don't lie, you know you love it. This palette, irregardless of anything anybody has ever said, this palette is bomb. And this palette was highly praised, and it is amazing. I have hit pan on 2 shadows. I never hit pan, but I did. I hit pan on 2 shadows. I love this palette. When I go to pull out palettes for my brides, this is always one that I pull out. And there is nothing like this palette out there. The glitters actually stay on your eyes without needing a glitter glue and without all of the fallout. It has a unique sequin formula, which is so neat. Like, look at this. Look at that. Tell me that's not pretty. It's beautiful. And it is just, it was amazing. It was amazing for her first makeup launch, and I'm still so proud of you, and I really sincerely hope that we see more products like this from you. But that is it, guys. That is my dedication to the biggest influencers that had an impact on my life and the products that they made me buy and that I am still in love with. So I would love to hear your opinions. What YouTubers are the ones that stuck with you, the ones that you have been ride or die with? I would love to know who you guys think are, and what products do you think are ride or die from their suggestions. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. Please like and subscribe before you go. Make sure you hit the bell so that you get notifications. And I can't wait to see you in my next video. Bye.